All right, April 5th here, moving right along. So, you guys are welcome to unmute yourselves and come out and ask away anything you like.
Greg. Hi, good morning, everyone. Sorry about that.
Hey, Gregory, how you doing?
Still my camera. Okay, so my question is on Royaltie. So I spent a lot of money well, not that much, but I spent money this past year on it, and it hasn't been doing good. I'd like to know what's your opinion, where we're going to go with it, and what can we do? I know we would do with it, but is it still viable and still workable? Thank you.
On the little Royaltie Gem deals?
Correct.
Yeah, it really did not get the traction that I thought it was going to get. And I think it's basically because people are not used to it on their phone. I don't see them checking their notifications. I don't know if you heard I did a couple of tests on it to test the viability of it. And one of the tests I did, I couldn't believe it got absolutely no reaction. It was a test in Angel Stadium, and it was during a particular inning I turned it on. And the message that I was broadcasting was free beer at a particular beer stand outside in Angel Stadium, just outside the corridor there. And that message was broadcast to the entire stadium because I was pretty much center stage with it. And I went to to where the free beer was being advertised, and not one person asked for it. So that was a pretty big disappointment. So yeah, I think, it's one of those things where if you're a salesperson just looking to sell stuff, cool stuff to business owners, it's a really easy sale because it's a very sexy idea. I just don't think it's caught on yet. Whether it will or not, I don't know, but it hasn't yet. I've tested it, several times with that same kind of thing where I know the audience was there. They're just flat not seeing the message. So apparently they're not using their phones in that particular way at this point in time. So yeah, I would say if you just bought it for your own purpose, you're probably not getting much bang for the buck out of it at this point. So feel free to, Cheryl says, did you give the gym people? Yes, I did. And what the question was, did I give that feedback back to the gem royalty people themselves? And I actually did. And they didn't really have anything to come back as far as, a solution for that. They are expanding. They are coming out with new product versions. Like they've got one that broadcasts out further. But to me, if it doesn't work within 100 yards in a stadium, I don't think going out further is the answer. So that, that didn't look viable. The other thing is, they were looking at, and I think they've actually done this. I think they can broadcast to I'm not positive, but I think they've got a version of it where they can broadcast to the Apple devices as well, which, yeah, that broadens your horizon. But if you're multiplying times 0, that still doesn't work very well. If it didn't work on the Android devices, I wouldn't expect that it was, miraculously going to work on the Apple users either. So even if it did, it would be a pretty small portion, pretty small percentage. So I don't really think at this point it was a great idea. I dove in on it because it was one of the sexiest things I'd seen in quite some time as far as, a sales tool. And, I referred it out to, a lot of the people that were doing reselling and selling other services to business owners, because it was a really easy pitch. It's an easy thing, and it's really cool. But the bottom line is, things are only cool if they actually work. So
I have a a continuing question then on that experiment you did at Angel Stadium.
Uh-huh.
So did the beer people, did they put a sign up saying turn on your Bluetooth for a special, and then was it,
No, they did not.
they did not?
They didn't even know what I was doing.
Oh, they didn't even know about the free beer.
I was just looking to cause a ruckus.
My God. Oh, okay.
It was going to kind of it somewhat be entertainment for me to see all these people rush a unsuspecting beer vendor and he have no idea what was happening. So that, but fortunate for him, that didn't happen. So, and unfortunate for me, I didn't get my entertainment value of the evening. So it was kind of a bomb on all ends. But now that's an interesting thing that you brought up for a way to possibly make it work. And this is one of the things that I had put out as a viable idea. And I think this still is very viable, is for realtors. Like, let's say you're a realtor and you put up a virtual tour of a home. And then on the realty sign, you put a thing on there that says, check your notifications for a free walkthrough of this house right now. That would work because you're actually instructing the user how to get something that they wanted with a device that's probably in their pocket. So if that was the case, and you were in that sort of a business or something like that, even store owners, it's just a matter of positioning something to make it work. It's not working one way, so that's a potential way to to get it to work. So if you wanted to go out, if you still wanted to use that as a sales tool and make money with it, that could be two viable ways to do that. One is go into a local business owner and have them put a sign in their window of, check your notifications for today's specials. As they're walking by, they might see that, notice that, and, take the call to action, pull their phone out and check their notifications and see, oh, they've got a 2-for-1 deal today or 20% off or, whatever it might be. That has the potential to draw people in because the device works. There's no question. It does work. There's no doubt about it. It's one of those things where if the users out there don't know about it and they're not aware of it, they're not looking for it. So that's the thing that has to be changed. And whenever you enter a market, like if you enter a market with an unknown item, an unknown product, it comes down to education. You've got to educate the market. So that could be a painful, costly process depending on what you're doing. Now in this, it's the least of both of those. It's not painful to put a sign in your window, and it's not a real costly process. So in the scheme of things, educating people for this particular device is pretty inexpensive, but you still would need to do that. So I think it's viable for the real estate market. Anybody that's doing open houses, all they've got to do is just put the open house, like a virtual tour, on a URL, and then change the sign to say, check your notifications on your Android phone for a virtual walkthrough of this house instantly. That's a pretty cool idea. That's still on the side of something that is very sexy, easy to sell, and you've got a ton of realtors out there. So if you did want to spin it into an opportunity, I would say that would probably be your best bet. You might even be able to get the real estate brokerage themselves to fund that and buy, let's say they buy 20 units and they give them to their best brokers as an incentive. That's something, that again, it's positioning an offer and making it easy to sell. And in answer to Gwen's question, yes, I did get that. I text you, yeah, 3:15 is perfect. So that works. But the other thing, for business owners, like I said, you could do the same thing with small business owners. Let's say you've got a shop on Main Street and there's a lot of foot traffic. Same thing. Easy to do, sign in the window. You could even do like a lit up sign, something that really grabs people's attention, and say special of the day. Check your Android device, check your notifications. and see what, see what we're up to today. And, people will see that, and not all of them will do this, but, a certain percentage will see that, be interested. It'll grab their attention. They'll pull out their mobile device, look at it. Okay, there's the special of the day. So it really comes down to same thing with any kind of marketing. You've just got to figure out who's the right audience and how do we position it. So for me, off the top, those are the two audiences I see that are viable for that product would be the real estate people, specifically the ones doing open houses, and then also the small shop owners with a lot of foot traffic. Those are two right out of the gate. I can tell you for sure those are viable audiences. So if you wanted to put a sales team together or a marketing campaign or basically an offer and present that to those people, I think you could have some pretty good success with that. So I know for me, I'm not really looking for another side business channel. I'm not looking for another job. So it doesn't appeal to me, but I know some people are. Some people are out there going, what can I do? They don't have a business idea already. Like Gregor, I know you've got yourself pretty entrenched in something that's working for you already. So it may not interest you in creating a whole new thing and diverting your attention off it. That might not make the most sense for you. But where this might make sense is for somebody that is looking to either start a business or do something on the side and looking for some sort of an opportunity that's easy, and that might be it. So like I said, there's a ton of realtors out there. So that's a good market. And there's also a ton of, small business owners, storefront owners with heavy foot traffic. Anywhere along the beaches, anywhere along the boardwalks, main streets, any place, shopping malls, anything like that where you got a lot of high foot traffic. So let's see, Cheryl, looks like you're talking. You're muted out. There, I've unmuted you.
Just good morning.
Hi.
Sorry, late.
Oh, no worries. I saw you were talking, but we didn't get any of it. So if you had a question or something, we missed it.
Oh no, I was just kind of mumbling to myself. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, no problem. I did unmute you there, so you can either stay unmuted.
But I do have a question if you're willing to answer.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
I've been working through this whole app program, and it's a little tough to just follow on my own.
Okay.
And it seems like a little extra help from somebody else, maybe from your team or something. And then I have another friend, her name is Geraldine Sommers, and I asked her I kind of pitched you with her because she went with who she calls Rat Fink, but I think his name is actually Paul Fink. But she's very unhappy with him. And I said, I know this guy named John who, it seems like really, really right up your alley of what you're looking for, because she was looking for marketing. And with Paul, all she got was like basic stuff you could get from a 3-day, seminar somewhere.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I told her about you. Not on your webinar that you had last week that Justin promoted.
Yeah.
I sent her the link for that. So she
cool.
might be calling you. But I know with both of us that we're thinking, it's a little hard to just do this all on our own.
Sure.
So I was wondering, is there some like extra
Well,
where that we can get a little extra help here or a handhold?
Absolutely. I mean, that really is what these calls are for. These calls are for me to help you through wherever you're stuck. And a lot of people will get on these calls and they don't know what to ask because they haven't even started yet. So the fact that you have started and you need help is awesome. So I would love to do that for you. And this is the forum for it. So
okay. So like just work through it, and then wherever we get stuck, write down a question and then just bring it to you on.
Yeah, absolutely. That is absolutely what this is for. That's why I created this, so nobody gets stuck.
A summit. Steve Walters, you're breaking up on me. I can't. Are you?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you were kind of breaking up there too. I'm not sure if it's on your end or my end.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to this New Media Summit next weekend, the podcasting seminar that Steve Olsher puts on. And I was thinking that in order to do that, I need a little marketing.
Okay.
But I don't know that I'm far enough along in my strategies yet. So I was thinking, what is the minimal thing that I could do? And I know you're always talking about these landing pages. And I was thinking maybe if I just put up a landing page that said, that promoted, the only thing that I have available product-wise right now is just my book, and that's not even published yet. So it's at the publishers, but I could give away a free offer of maybe the first 5 or 6 chapters of it, that's like just section 1. And so, and I could say coming soon and put up the cover and the back of the book and, a little blurb about it and just give away a free offer. So I was thinking that might be the minimum that I could do. And then maybe I could have some like postcards of the front and back cover of the book and that just have the website on it. But here's the problem. I bought this website a long time ago. And I'm now paying for something called WordPress and something called Bluehost. And then last time I was at the New Media Summit, I let one of the offers they had was to put a template on your website that has to do with podcasting. Well, they took over the whole website with their template. And so now I'm not sure quite how to create a landing page on the website or where I should go to get that done.
Okay.
So I can just, and take that whole podcasting thing and lock it down and shove it over to the side somewhere. I don't know how to do all that, obviously. So what do I do in order to get this little piece of marketing accomplished?
Okay, sure. Well, it's like with ACT, when you talk about marketing funnels, a lot of people have got this confused with it has to be a certain way. Like they think they have to use ClickFunnels or they have to do this or they have to do that. And really, any kind of a marketing funnel is just a process. It's a sales process. So for you, let's say you have opportunity to go to this thing and you've got a lot of prospects there. So that in itself is a type of a funnel. So with a funnel, basically what you're trying to do is get an opt-in. You're not trying to make a sale on the spot. And in this case, it sounds like you're not ready to make a sale yet, but you are ready to prospect. So I want
to get myself out just to talk. I just want to get used to talking my message before I get into client attraction and selling products and stuff. I just want to, get comfortable talking.
Well, and I've done that. I've been at events where I was not expecting to be a speaker, but I've been called up and say, hey, could you come give us 5 minutes on, how to do this or how to do that? I'm like, sure, I would love to. And in several cases, that's, that has been what's happened. And I didn't have a landing page up. I didn't have anything. I wasn't expecting to even do that. So you should be ready for this at anywhere. If you get that opportunity, and let's say you're not prepared, what you first want to do, and this is all in accordance with ACT, you want to identify who you're talking to. Even if it's a guess, take the best educated guess at who's in the room on average, and that's who you're going to want to speak to. You're going to want to try and mimic them. You want to try and figure out if you've heard them in the halls and they've got a particular slang. If they speak slowly, you want to slow your voice down. If they're fast talkers, you want to speed it up. You want to do as much as you can to mirror the general person in the room. Right. The next thing you want to do is figure out what is important to them. And a lot of that can be alluded to on what the event is. Why did they come there? And you can make these generalities without going through and doing, 3 months worth of analysis. You can literally, once you understand the concept, you can do this on the fly. And, I do it every day with clients, and a lot of it is intuitive. So just understanding the process of you need to know who you're talking to, what's important to them, and so you can mirror them. And then the next thing is to make a connection where you can follow up. And again, whether this is in person or on a website, it doesn't matter. It's a process. It's what we call a funnel. So in person, what you're going to do is you're going to make a simple offer to get their information so you can deliver whatever it is. Like in your case, it might be you don't have the book published yet, but you might have it in a PDF format where you can offer them a free PDF copy. Say, look, this thing hasn't been.
Do the whole thing like that? I was thinking of just free 6 chapters.
You could, sure. Yeah,
because it's not published yet. It doesn't have an ISBN number, copyright, yet. Because
you don't need any of that to offer them a free copy, even if it's just a few chapters of it. You can say, it's in pre-release. I'm looking for feedback. So for your feedback, I'm willing to give you a free copy if you take a look at it, see, and give me your feedback. So it's like a give and take thing. You're asking them to do something for you, and in return value, you're giving them something that can help them. So it's a great way to start a relationship. Instead of, I see a lot of people that just say, hey, here's my free book for anybody that wants it. That's not as good a way to start that relationship, because everybody's going to say, yeah, I'll take it. It's free. I'll take it. And it's a blow off. It's the same thing like a good salesperson. He has no interest whatsoever in sending out a free brochure. Because he knows on the other end, that's the prospect saying, yeah, I'm not really interested and I want to end this conversation, so send me a brochure. He gets that. And it's kind of the same thing. You're creating that environment when you just say, hey, I've got a free thing for everybody in the room. It's up for grabs. That's kind of the environment you're creating. You want, with a funnel, what you're trying to do, the main point of a funnel is to automate the process of prospecting and figuring out who is interested. And if you ask somebody to give you their feedback and tell them, hey, I've got this thing, it will help you, I would love to get your opinion on it. It's a micro commitment they're making to you, but it's more than the micro commitment of, yeah, I'll just take the free thing because it's offered to me. I mean, I see so many people that will take free stuff in seminars, and it doesn't do the person giving it out any good whatsoever. Like I saw somebody
I've seen that too.
Yeah, at one of Craig's mastermind groups recently, there was a woman there that had this book that I don't know what it was for, but it literally, to me, looked like it made no sense to anyone on the planet. But she offered a free copy. She had them right there, hard copies, and everybody in the room took one. It was a book, something about her dog. I mean, it literally made no sense whatsoever to me of why someone would want to read that. But everybody in the room took it. And it was like, how many leads do you think that really generated for her? Probably none. It cost her a bunch because you're talking printed books, and she's given out 100 of them. So, when you create a marketing funnel, you always want to make sure that you follow the protocol. That's what I've put together in ACT is, figuring out who you're talking to, what they need, providing something of value to start that relationship. And then the next job of the funnel, whether it be you following up in person or your landing page or a webinar or whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever works for your situation. The next step to that is creating an education-based sequence so they can learn how your offer, what you have to offer them, is the perfect solution for them, and it's going to get them the desired outcome that they want. That's really kind of the ACT in a nutshell of how to create that marketing funnel. Now, in the program, you'll notice I've got it broken down into all these little modules of exactly how to do each step if you're not familiar with it. But I want you guys to realize I did that for the person that literally is going step by step, that has never done this before. A lot of you guys have experience, though. You've got life experience. When you're creating a product, if you know enough about creating a product and the product itself, you know something about that market. So some of this stuff is easily done intuitively. You know, I've got people that have taken the jump, they've looked at the course material, they've seen the outline, and they've just, you know, made the jumps and do it intuitively. I've got others that, you know, they've got the analysis paralysis, and they get in and they, and I think what that is, that has to do with uncertainty. That has more to do with not being sure of yourself, because maybe it's your first time, or maybe you've spent a bunch of money before and this has never worked for you, and you're scared of making the wrong thing, taking the wrong step. So it's not meant to be painful. It's a little, you know, it's a concept that's very easy to grasp, and for people that have never done it and are stuck, it seems almost impossible to implement, but it really isn't. It's an easy process. And like I had said to you earlier, Cheryl, this forum right here is meant to take that fear away. You know, it's like, if you've got something, you know, bring your idea in here and let's validate it. You know, let me help you move through the process as easily and painless as possible. So, but again, first step, really. What's that?
So to get through next weekend, you know, I get to pitch for 30 seconds and then have questions asked of me for a minute and a half. Whatever I want to say. And the only thing I can pitch right now is just a message, right? A solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Then
that
at the
reminds me.
end, he says, do a call to action at the end. And the only call to action I can think of is for more, go to my, or check out my free offer at, you know, my website, right?
Yeah. That reminds
then
me.
if I could get them to a landing page, then I could give them a piece of what my message is until the entire book comes out. Then that gives me an opportunity to follow up with them as well and say, how did you like it? I get your feedback, right? You know, like you're saying, make sure that it's connected to feedback. Then I can follow up with requests for feedback. You know, I can follow up with when the book is ready, you know, it's now ready, you know, get your copy from Amazon, you know, and so on.
Yeah.
So it gives me some room to keep following up as well.
Gotcha. Well, that reminded me right there of the purpose of the start of my story, which I never finished. If you don't have a landing page up and you're in that situation,
it's called an open loop, I believe.
Yeah, and you're talking at the end of that, and I've done this before. I've done this like 3 times, and it worked out pretty well. What you can do is you can say, anybody that's interested in the whatever it is, please, you know, pass your cards to the middle. I will collect them and I will get back to you and, you know, connect with you or give you I'll send you whatever. So if you need their email address, if you need their text, whatever it is you need to make the communication that you need to make, just go ahead and ask for it. You don't have to send them to a landing page. In fact, in a room full of people, when you do that kind of an offer, you're going to lose a lot that would have done it anyway, because maybe they don't have the ability right there to go to the landing page and, you know, make that request. And if that's the case, you know.
Here's the way it actually works. Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. That must be at my end. Here's the way it actually works. They're going to put an envelope on the wall. They're going to take our pictures as we come in. And then they're going to put an envelope on the wall and everybody will have these 3.5 by 5 cards. Anybody you hear throughout the day that you want to connect with, you just fill out your own name and contact, and you go put it in their envelope. That's the way they're working it. Okay.
Yeah.
And when I do my 30-second pitch, it's mainly to the podcasters. There's about 30 or 40 podcasters there that are interested in finding people to talk on their show. Plus, it's to the entire audience. And there's about 200 people in the audience. And they're not going to let me say, put your cards into the middle, because we're not even sitting in rows. We're sitting at tables, round tables, you know.
Gotcha.
And at least we were last year. And then there's also all those people outside of the event who are listening in through webinar or podcasting or whatever there is. So there's a whole group of people that I need to connect with that aren't necessarily in the room either.
Okay.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's just supposed to be directed to the people who want me on their show.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, if you've got a situation where it's people that are not in the room, then that's clearly not going to work. But for the ones that are in the room, you know, whatever you have access to, like for this, you know, they're going to put their name and email or whatever on a card and put it in your envelope. That's perfect. You know, you just need to figure out how to position what it is that you're offering to be in alignment with what they want as an outcome. You know, if they're there to learn about how to get on, you know, on other people's podcasts or how to get guests on their podcasts, and you can position what you have, that's really your best thing, because you're in alignment with why they're there, what they want, and you're offering some sort of a solution to that. So that's really what you want to do. In a nutshell, that's it, regardless of who you are, what you're doing, what audience it is. Figure out who they are, what they want, and how what you have aligned.
So I already have my pitch done. Okay. And at the end of it, I would want to do some kind of call to action. I'm not sure everybody's going to do that, but a couple of weeks ago, Steve was saying do that. But then I've been listening to him analyze people's pitches over the last 3 weeks, and he's not insisting that everybody do that. But for me, why waste it? The opportunity to get everybody's email addresses by going to my website and getting something for free, right? Mm-hmm. Which is just a few chapters of my book that continues on. So I would give a very short pitch and then say, for more, check out my free offer at my website, right?
Yeah.
And then that's one way to connect with me. The other way to connect with me would be through the envelopes, and then also through just meeting me at the event, mm-hmm. right? So I have an option of collecting I'm just starting. So, you know, I don't have one email address, right? No tribe, no following, no nothing. This is going to be my first step out into the world, right?
Yeah.
So I need to start collecting that. And I thought that might be a way to do it, even though I'm not prepared to do client attraction yet. At least maybe I can start collecting an email list or something, or starting just to get the word out about my message, right?
Yeah, and that's.
But now it's landing page, and I'm stuck on the landing page step. I don't know how to go about doing that between now and next weekend. So if you can advise me on how to go about making that happen, what steps who would I call? What do I have to go sign up with somebody? I mean, what do I do to make a landing?
For that, really, that's a matter of, if you've got WordPress and you're going to want to do this stuff yourself, you probably want to just go online and find some kind of a tutorial on how to add a page to your WordPress site. That would be the simplest solution.
Well, what about the fact that the template that they installed on my website took over the whole thing? How do I get rid of that?
Even if it's in a template,
their template is podcasting. It's a podcaster's template.
Yeah, but it still should allow you to add pages to it. Any kind of template is still going to allow you to add a page. The page is probably going to carry the same theme as the template. So, you know, that's a decision you've got to make. Is this something you want to throw out and start over and, you know?
No, I just would like to lock it down and hide it. That's what I'd like to do. Because it's just got like silhouettes of beings, and it's got like template language on it, you know, and I just would like to just lock it away. Is there somebody, I mean, who's the kind of people that you find to go do that sort of stuff?
It sounds more like you probably want to, at some point, get a web developer and, you know, redesign the site for you. But the problem with that is, and I tell this to everybody, it's kind of a waste of money to hire a web developer before you've really got your site dialed in. So, you know, in that case, what a lot of people will do in your situation where they're not ready to build their site yet, they will get a product similar to ClickFunnels or ClickFunnels itself, which allows you to build landing pages very easily on the fly, You can add as many as you want. You can change it up. You can, you can do all of that stuff with
Can
it.
you say that again, because you froze on me and I didn't hear one of your sentences in there.
Okay, yeah, it's
You said
people.
get ClickFunnels.
Yeah, they'll go and they'll get a product, either ClickFunnels or a product like ClickFunnels, and that allows you to create these landing pages very easily on the fly. So that's
just an amateur like me could do it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can get in and navigate WordPress at all, then ClickFunnels is going to be a breeze, because they have templates to choose from. Like, they'll have a basic landing page template, and then you just go change out your text. It's very simple. In fact,
Okay.
I'll if ClickFunnels.
Now, let me ask you another question. Let me ask you another question. If I go to ClickFunnels and do that, if I choose not to use the website that I have already for the podcasting, and I just go get another website, let's say on my name, for example, would I do that in ClickFunnels, or would I do that outside and then import it into ClickFunnels?
Well, you can actually do it either way. What you can do is you can buyyourname.com, and you can assign that over to ClickFunnels and have ClickFunnels actually host that for you, and then your web pages would be right inside there. So basically, when you create
the best way to do it.
It might be for your situation like that, and especially while you're figuring out what you want to do, because it'll allow you to make as many pages as you want. You can create, like, you could buy 3 different websites and have 3 different websites hosted inside ClickFunnels with 3 completely different landing pages on them. That would be a pretty easy way to go. I mean, ultimately, once you figure it out, you do want to develop your own website around what you're doing. But this might be a good first step for you to do your testing and figure out what converts and all that stuff. And then once you get all that together, then put your master game plan all together, and then go and hire a web developer and say, this is what I would like. Because their big thing is they really don't know what you want. They know how to make it look pretty, but they'll never be able to tell you, hey, this is going to convert for your audience. That's not what they do. They just, they build out a shell and they make it look good, and then you have to give them the content. If you're hiring a web developer or a web designer to create your content, you're in for a terrible disaster.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't expect them to know my content.
Sure. You would be surprised at how many people will hire a web developer and not have any content and expect them to create it for them. It's crazy.
Oh, no, I would never do that. Yeah.
So anyway,
I would want my content in it anyway, not theirs.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I put a link in the chat box there to ClickFunnels if you want to check that out. The low end, you don't need the high end of it. They've got 2 different versions. Their low end is like $97 a month. That's all you need. That'll give you like up to 10 different websites, and you can get a lot done with that. They're hiring.
Can I transfer the website that I have now over to that, so that I don't pay Bluehost anymore, and just do everything inside ClickFunnels?
Yeah, you could do that.
Can I do that?
I did that with one of my sites, because ClickFunnels actually had a template of a website that was like exactly what I wanted. So I just took one of my sites and transferred it over. I just killed the whole site and just took their website template and ran with it. So yeah, you could definitely do that. And then that way, you don't need to pay Bluehost, you don't need to pay WordPress, you can cut those off and do it that way.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I said, it's very easy. ClickFunnels, everybody I've talked to that has worked with ClickFunnels say it's easier than WordPress by a long shot. Because it really truly is drag and drop, where WordPress is not. You gotta know a little bit about how to manipulate a WordPress site. Even, it's confusing even for me. I'm not used to WordPress. I've built
if it's confusing for you.
I've built thousands. I've built thousands of websites, over the last 20 something years, but I didn't build any of them using WordPress. I built them using, other programs that are more drag and drop, like ClickFunnels is. And, I've built some awesome websites, but you drop me inside of WordPress and I'm like looking around like, well, where am I? I don't know how to get anything done. But, it's like anything else. If you grew up inside it, then that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
I've got people that, they work in WordPress on a daily basis and they know it like the back of their hand, and they look at what I do and they're like, oh my God, I'd never be able to do that with that. I'm like, well, I look at theirs and I'm like, well, I'd never be able to do it with that. So really just, depends on what you're used to. I am much more used to the drag and drop stuff because I'm not much of a coder, or, not into 50 different things to get one thing accomplished.
Yeah. So I just click on this internetdominators.com ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
And that will keep me. Okay. Will that still be there after this call's over?
It will be gone after that. Actually, I need to put the HTTP in there if you were going to click it.
And what is the note from Cheryl that says, can she do a text this number? We did this once with one of Craig's speakers.
Yeah, that we were talking about, like sending people to a landing page. There's also a way that you can just give them a number to text to. And there's different providers out there, and they'll build you a mailing list based on a text message. So you can say, here's my text number, text this sentence or this word to this number, and then it gives them an automatic reply of, thank you, I got your request, and then it puts them on a mailing list for a follow-up sequence. So that's what
I'd have to find a provider to do that, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there's several. You can just Google it. You can say text autoresponders or text systems.
Autoresponders or text systems. Okay, well, thank you for that tip too.
Or text mailing lists. That'll get you that type of stuff, and they're really cool because anywhere you go, you could be in an elevator and find somebody that's interested in what you got and say, hey, if you want this, just text your number to this, or text this word to this number, and it'll send it to you all automated. Mm-hmm. I know Infusionsoft does it. Infusionsoft
I don't want to get into Infusionsoft. That's too complicated for my level at this point.
Yeah.
I notice all the big guys use it. You got to be a big guy.
Yeah, once you get up to a certain level, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense for most of us. No. Like I had it many years ago, and I finally got rid of it. It was just like, I'm never going to use all this stuff. So I use a very basic, simple autoresponder, because I do stuff on a more basic level.
But you're saying ClickFunnels does all that, right?
Yeah, ClickFunnels will connect to just about any autoresponder out there, and so that'll pretty much do the trick for you.
And what if you put up a landing page on ClickFunnels? Will it send the content for me?
Yes. Yeah, you can have it. ClickFunnels has a lot of different automation modules built into it. So you can have it like send a thank you page. On the thank you page, you can put a download link. So that's the easiest way to do that.
Okay. So thank you.
So a lot of people endorse, ClickFunnels. A lot of people have found that Russell Brunson is the creator of it, and he basically built it for himself originally. Because he wasn't a tech guy. He had hired some programmers, and he said, look, I need something where I can put these things up on the fly, because I do a lot of them. I test stuff all the time. I can't afford to hire a web developer, to be putting these tests up for me every 30 minutes every time I get a new idea. and that was kind of what was behind it. And he created that, and once he got it, he's like, wow, everybody could use this. And he spent the last several years just, going through and making it better and better and better based on the internet marketing world and the needs of being able to do these things on the fly and making it easy.
Well, there's an additional story to that, John. Russell was a big user of ClickFunnels and seller, and Fusionsoft, and then Fusionsoft then accused him of being a competitor, and he said, "I'm just selling your stuff forward," and so they kicked him out, and then that was part of the other frustration was that, and that story came from James Malinchek, and that's also James Malinchek. Cindy had gone to the Rio de Janeiro Olympics as a judge, and he had to handle his own stuff. And when he discovered how cumbersome Infusionsoft was, he said, "That's it, it's done. When Cindy gets back, we're changing."
James got rid of Infusionsoft too. Wow.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that have it. It's very cumbersome. I mean, I know a lot about a lot of different stuff, and it was like a lot of what it was doing did not make sense. It was like you had to do all this weird stuff to make the most simple thing happen, and it's like this just doesn't work for me. So that's why I got rid of it. It was, and it's expensive too.
Yeah.
It's like $400 a month for that. And if you're using it, you've got somebody that's in there that's their job, and they're really, really taking advantage of it, it's probably worthwhile, because it literally will do an incredible amount of automation. Like if somebody comes in and they ask for your offer, yet they don't download it, it knows that, and it will follow up based on that activity. It'll say, hey, we saw that you requested it, but we noticed that you haven't downloaded it yet. And, they're like, oh, wow, okay, well, I better download it. Whereas if you didn't have that, you wouldn't even know. You might give 100 links out for somebody to download something, and you don't even know if 5 people downloaded it or all of them downloaded it, or none of them downloaded it.
I wouldn't know that on ClickFunnels.
In ClickFunnels, they've got certain things in there where, yeah, you would know about that. But that really has to do with your auto response sequence. Whatever autoresponder that you're using for your mailing list, ClickFunnels will connect to that to pass the information into that autoresponder. So in the case of Infusionsoft, that's what Infusionsoft is. It's a very advanced autoresponder. It follows up for you. So in ClickFunnels, they have in their higher end product, I think it's $297 a month, they actually have an autoresponder there built into it that's got functionality, but it's from the people I've heard that have been using that, they haven't been happy with it. So that's why I recommend, go for the base level and get yourself, get your own autoresponder that you're using.
Well, what's a good one? And what would you advise us beginners to?
Probably the most basic one right out of the box is Aweber. That's that, and all of this stuff is on the it's on our resources page.
Right, your resource page, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put the link in here for you.
So Malinchek likes ClickFunnels too, Greg?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And what we were mentioning earlier about cumbersome, he said he had to go through 27 steps just to send out an email.
Wow.
And, it was like incredible. And then him and Russell, I think, is part of Malinchek's group. So that's why he knows the story directly, what happened to Russell and Fusionsoft.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's that's the thing, an autoresponder, you don't need all the bells and whistles to get going. You can use a simple one like Aweber.
Yeah, you put up, there you go. I was gonna say you just put ClickFunnels on that. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I got the one for Aweber there now. But yeah, all of these links are on the resource page. If you're ever looking for stuff, I've put on there like the easiest stuff that I've found to use. A lot of it is the stuff that I use myself. So I'm using ClickFunnels for myself and to test for, other customers and clients that we're putting marketing campaigns together for. So it's easy stuff. Like with an autoresponder, you want the ability to segment your list. So you want to be able to create multiple lists inside the same autoresponder, which you can do that with Aweber, no problem. You want the ability to log into your autoresponder and send an email to any one of those segments or the entire list, and it will do that for you. You want the ability to log in and just send to one segment. You want to be able to set up an automated follow-up sequence, and these are the basic things that an autoresponder does that you need to be able to have in your business. And like I said, Aweber, it's a simple one. It's not very expensive. I think to start out, it's like $20 a month or $29 a month, whatever. I haven't looked at it in a while, but that was where it was. It was like $20 a month to get started. And, that starter will get you everything you need. The only reason that you would need to increase that price is when you grow your list.
Right.
It'll give you up to so many people on the list for that price. And, you should be happy about paying more because that means you got a bigger list and you're probably making more money by that point. So, and then the other thing too is, once you grow and you get down the line and you get more sophisticated and you say, hey, I'm selling thousands of units now and I want to get my conversions up. So I want to track people more and I want to send them more customized messages. At that point you might outgrow it. But for the beginning, it's perfectly fine, for you guys.
One of the things I've heard about outgrowing things is the conversion. Would there be any problem with converting once you outgrow? You don't really outgrow it and have to convert, right? You just buy more.
Yeah. No, you with
in other words,
you
use Aweber, you just pay more money, right?
Yeah, you would just pay more and get access to a bigger list. You could do that. But what I'm talking about, like outgrowing it, is outgrowing its functionality. Like if you wanted to
have to convert right over to a new system.
Yeah, you'd basically export. You'd export your list and import it into a new system and all that. Some people are using online shopping carts, and a lot of times an online shopping cart itself will have a built-in mailing list, so you may not need Aweber. So depending on the shopping cart that you're using, with ClickFunnels has a shopping cart built into it, but it doesn't have a built-in autoresponder with it. So connecting Aweber to ClickFunnels is a great solution because it gives you your shopping cart functionality, gives you your landing page creator functionality, and then you connect, for $20, you connect your autoresponder Aweber to the back end of it, and you're all set. And so that might be a really good, easy solution to get you up and rolling, and it gives you a lot of ability to test too. Because with ClickFunnels, one of the things it'll do, you don't have to get different domain names. You can literally create, new test pages in there, and it'll just give you a different URL, and you can just use those as your landing pages.
I don't understand what you're saying.
So if you're like when you get ClickFunnels by default, it's whatever you call it .clickfunnels.com is your website on ClickFunnels. You can transfer that to your own .com name if you want to, but you don't have to. So let's say landing page number 1. So let's say you just sign up and you get Cheryl. So it's cheryl.clickfunnels.com. That's your default landing page. If you want another one, it could be like cheryl.clickfunnels.com /book. And that could be your landing page for your book. You know, you could create another one, cheryl.clickfunnels.com/webinar. You know, maybe you're going to put a webinar together and that's your landing page for that. So you don't have to buy new domain names every time you want to test and play and build a landing page. Once you get one that converts, then it makes sense. Yeah, let's put that on its own domain and let's go for it. But you don't have to go to all that expense and rigmarole up front to test things.
So if I were to get like cheryl.clickfunnels.com/book, is that what I would say is the in the call to action for more, you know, get my free offer, check out my free offer and I would say cheryl.clickfunnels.com/book.
You could, yeah, that would be one way. It's not the ideal way.
I don't like that.
If you're giving them a link, it's easy. But if you're standing in front of them and you're giving them something to write down, that's not ideal.
So how do I change that?
So you could change that by going to, are you familiar with Bitly?
No.
There's a website shortener called bit.ly. And you can get any URL that forwards to anything you want. It's like a redirect URL. So you could go there and that's free. And you could set up like bit.ly/Cheryl. That's a lot easier than cheryl.clickfunnels.com/book.
So then I would say to people in my pitch, check out my free offer at bit.ly/Cheryl.
Yeah.
Do I have to say that?
Yeah, that would be easier. The other thing you could do is you could actually buy a domain and you could forward it to your ClickFunnels page.
So like I have my own domain called afraidtoloveagain.com, which I think is a lot easier to remember for people. And I could forward that to the clickfunnels.com/book.
Absolutely. Then
I can say that to everybody, but they would end up there.
Yep. Exactly.
Instead of on the Afraid to Love Again website, which is got that podcast thing that I don't want, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it would not do that. It would go straight to clickfunnels.com/book instead.
Yeah, it will go right to wherever you forward it to.
And it would not show anything that's on the Afraid to Love Again site.
Nope.
Oh, that would work. I like that best.
Yeah, okay, that's an easy solution.
All right.
So that's called domain forwarding. So like wherever you buy your domain, if you bought it at GoDaddy, you would just log in and set up domain forwarding and just give it the URL you want to forward to and hit update. It's just that simple. Then you create your landing page there with ClickFunnels and away you go.
Okay.
And like I said, ClickFunnels has a lot of templates, so you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. They know what converts. So you go in and you pick, hey, I need a landing page for an opt-in, and they've got some to choose from. You might say, I need a landing page to sell my book, and they've got templates for that.
Okay, but what I would be doing is called an opt-in, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not selling the book. I'm just having people give their name and address and then auto-responding to just an offer, right? That's called an opt-in? Okay.
Yeah, that's an opt-in. Yeah. So that's kind of your first step, and that's an easy way to get it done. You know, ClickFunnels, domain forwarding, and your autoresponder. So those are kind of your basic pieces.
Okay, thank you. I feel so much more comfortable now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want you to, make sure that that's what this call is for. So, feel free to jump in or whatever your question is. I'm sure there's a bunch of other people that have the same question. So my biggest problem is getting you guys to ask. So,
Such a problem. They'll pay for this, and then we don't bother to ask.
that's right. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for today. If you got it, we'll be back on next week. If you guys have questions, here's another thing that's come up. Some people can't make the time slot. So if you've got questions and you want me to address them, on this call, you can go ahead and just email those to me, and then I'll talk about them on here, record it, and you can go in anytime you want and watch the recording. So I want to make the info accessible to everybody. So, again, that's what this is for. Don't feel like you're abusing it, because you're not. It's, it gives me content when you guys ask questions. So, all right, guys, well, have a great week, and shoot me an email if there's anything we missed you want me to follow up with next week, and we'll be back on.